It's 3 in the morning. You're awake again. Your heart is pounding for no reason you can name. There's a weight on your chest that no doctor has ever been able to explain on a scan. You're lying in a bed that should feel safe, and your body is screaming at you that you are dying. You've Googled it. You've cried about it. You've sat in waiting rooms and described it to someone in a white coat, and they've handed you a piece of paper that says anxiety disorder. And somewhere deep down, in a place you're almost ashamed to admit, you accepted it. You told yourself your brain was broken. That this is just who you are now. That the panic, the dread, the feeling of impending doom every single morning, that's just your life. I need you to hear me right now. You were lied to. Not by bad people. By an incomplete system. Because what millions of people are calling anxiety is not a psychological failure. It is a biological malfunction. It has a name. It has a mechanism. And tonight, it has a fix. And in the next 6 minutes, I'm going to show you something that will make you angry, then relieved, then free. Before the science, I want you to do one thing tonight. One thing. It costs you nothing. It takes 3 seconds. Every morning you wake up exhausted and already anxious, your body has been doing something while you slept. It's been mouth breathing. And mouth breathing at night is like leaving your front door open in a hurricane. You are dumping a critical gas called CO₂ while you sleep, and triggering a 4-hour physiological panic attack you experience as nightmares, restless sleep, and waking up more tired than when you closed your eyes. The fix is this. One small piece of surgical tape. Center of your lips. Tonight. Force your body back to nasal breathing. You will wake up tomorrow with a different nervous system. I'm not asking you to believe me yet. I'm asking you to test me. And if you are exhausted by surface-level health content that treats you like you can't handle the truth, hit subscribe. What we're building here is a community that runs on data. Now, let's go look at your blood. Here is what they didn't teach you in any waiting room. CO₂, carbon dioxide, is not a waste gas your body is trying to get rid of. That belief is costing people their lives. There is a principle discovered over a century ago called the Bohr Effect. And it states something that should be printed on the wall of every psychiatrist's office in the world. Your red blood cells cannot release oxygen to your brain without adequate carbon dioxide. Read that again. Your blood could be full of oxygen right now, 99% saturated, and your brain could still be starving. Not because you're not breathing enough. Because you're breathing too much. You're washing out the CO₂ that unlocks the delivery. When you are chronically stressed, shallow chest breaths, mouth breathing, sighing constantly, you are hemorrhaging CO₂ around the clock. And your amygdala, the oldest, most primal part of your brain, detects the oxygen starvation at the cellular level and sends out one signal. Danger. 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 You feel it as dread. As doom. As a panic attack at a grocery store checkout line with no logical trigger in sight. So you go to a doctor. And the doctor, doing exactly what they were trained to do, gives you a medication designed to quiet the alarm. But no one fixes the fire. You have spent years, maybe decades, trying to solve a respiratory mechanical failure with psychological tools. And it was never going to work. Not because you weren't trying hard enough. Because no amount of positive thinking repressurizes your blood. I want you to stop watching for 60 seconds and become the experiment. This is called the BOLT test. Body Oxygen Level Test. It was developed to give you a real-time snapshot of your CO₂ tolerance, which is a direct measurement of how chronically dysregulated your nervous system actually is. Here's how you do it. Sit still. Take one normal breath in through your nose. Breathe normally out. Then, hold your nose. Start the timer. The moment you feel the first physical urge to breathe, not the panic, not the discomfort, the first gentle nudge, stop the timer. That number is your biological baseline. Under 20 seconds. Your anxiety has a physical address. Your body is living in a state called chronic air hunger, a permanent, invisible emergency signal running 24 hours a day underneath everything you do. 20 to 40 seconds. You are functional. But you are one stressful week away from dysregulation. You are building on an unstable foundation. Over 40 seconds. This is where the nervous system was designed to live. This is what calm actually feels like from the inside. If your number is low, I don't want you to spiral. That number is not a sentence. It is a coordinate. It tells us exactly where you are, so we know exactly how to move you. Now, let's move you. To recalibrate a nervous system that has been in a low-grade emergency state for years, you don't need a prescription. You need 3 things I call the mechanical trio. Number 1. The 4-7-8 drill. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 7. Exhale slowly, completely, for 8. That extended exhale is not relaxation theater. It is chemistry. The longer your exhale, the more CO2 builds in your blood, and the more your amygdala receives the signal it has been desperately waiting for: we are safe. Stand down. Do this 3 cycles when a wave hits. Do it every night before sleep. You are not just calming down, you are retraining your baseline. Number 2. Magnesium glycinate. 400 milligrams before bed. Magnesium is not a wellness trend. It is the mineral your diaphragm requires to fully release tension. Most chronically anxious people are magnesium depleted, partly from poor diet, partly because chronic stress burns through it. A locked diaphragm means shallow breaths. Shallow breaths mean CO2 loss. Magnesium glycinate closes that loop. Number 3. The nasal reset. During the day, the moment you feel the edge of a wave, close your mouth. That simple act activates nasal breathing, which floods your system with nitric oxide, a compound that dilates your blood vessels and restores oxygen delivery to your brain in under 90 seconds. You don't need a quiet room. You don't need a meditation app. You need to close your mouth. I want you to think about someone for a moment. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone you love. Someone who has spent years apologizing for being too sensitive. Who has canceled plans because the dread hit without warning. Who has sat alone at 3 a.m. convinced something is fundamentally wrong with them, not just their health, but them. Their character. Their strength. Their worth. I want you to understand something with everything I have. They were not weak. They were oxygen-starved. The panic was not a personality flaw. It was a pressure gauge reading low every single morning, with no one around who knew how to read it. You are not a broken person walking around in a functional world. You are a precise biological system that received the wrong biohack and has been handed the wrong tools ever since. Fix the mechanics. The breathing. The minerals. The tape on your lips at night. And watch what you thought was your personality turn out to have been your physiology. If this video reached something in you, if it put language to something you felt but couldn't explain, share it with one person tonight. Not because I need the views. Because somewhere in your contacts right now, there is someone lying awake in the dark, convinced they are broken. You might be the one person who tells them they're not crazy. They're just out of air. This is Silent Health Warnings. And the research is just beginning.